Ray. I'm just sharing our understanding of it, and hopefully that will offer some value.
There'd be politically correct inconveniences, right? And, you know.
Hi, my name is Russ Littau, and this is video 1 of the 5-part mini-series called 2014 Resolutions, Disillusions, and Solutions. This is a mini-series from the Ask the Spirituality Experts radio and TV program. If you want to check out more about who we are, I'll just flash up our main website right here, and you can head over there and check out our Ask the Experts page. And you can see our video archives and our radio archives and different things like this. Okay, so as I said in our introductory video, this is a 5-part mini-series, 5 steps, 5 powerful, practical steps that you can use to take those resolutions and really skip over the disillusion part and really flow into the solution piece of it. Okay, so the first step, is, so what is a resolution, right? What mechanically does that look like, and here's a couple of things that it isn't. So one of the things that we sometimes will do is and I use the word desires is what we use in our manifesting program, but we'll say resolutions for this, is our resolutions are based on what we don't want, right? And so it's, okay, so my resolution is to, let's say it's a health and fitness one, is to get rid of, some unwanted weight, right? If it's a financial one, maybe it's I want to get rid of, some unwanted debt, so, and these may sound very subtle, but they're very powerful, right? So when you're building your resolution, what you really want to focus on, and it's important in the way you articulate it, and construct it, is what would you like to see here and now, right? So rather than, I'm going to release some of this unwanted weight, let your resolution be, what's the end result? What would be the end result of losing some, unwanted weight, right? Or getting rid of some unwanted debt and things like that. What would the end result look like? Think of it as a journey, right? And if you're we're going to be teaching down in Anaheim here in a few weeks, right? So there's, our destination is Anaheim, right? Now, there's all the processes to get from our head offices in Western Canada to Anaheim, right? So what's our end result? Well, our end result is we don't want to be in Alberta as a province that we're in. We don't want to be in Alberta, right? That's not it, right? Our end result is we want to be in Anaheim. And you may look at that and you may go, well, yeah, right? But that's what we do, right? It's really amazing. And when you think about it and look at it, it's amazing how many times our focus is what we don't want. And I know you've probably heard this before, but remember what I said in the first video, right? It's not the accumulation of the information. It's as and when and if you apply it, right? Don't get hung up on that. That's a big deal, right? And many of these really is kind of like the nuggets. Aren't huge drastic changes. They're subtle little shifts, but doing them. Don't just talk about it, do them, right? So think about this. What is the end result, right? So if it is get rid of some unwanted debt, what would that look like, right? So maybe it is, I don't know, you have extra cash flow that maybe you can use to, to come with us when we go to Anaheim, right? What is the end result, okay? Now, the second one, and again, I mentioned this in the introductory video, is try not to connect this year's resolutions with last year's disillusions, right? And as I said, I mentioned this in the introductory video. So it's, my 2014, I'll pick on health and fitness again. My 2014 resolution is I want to, so now we've learned from the first thing I just said, I want to have a healthy and fit body that looks really good in my new swimsuit or something like that, right? Because last year I didn't have too much luck at that, right? Well, let's forget about that, right? Just don't even think about that. Just, cut kind of the cords. That was then, this is now. Because what happens is it's like we're putting the two together, right? And so we say, yeah, this is my 2014 resolution because I didn't do so well last year, right? So we're sort of starting off our very first step towards this by trying to drag through our disillusion from the past. Okay, so remember that, and kind of just enhancing that is your New Year's resolutions are not limited in many ways by last year, the last 10 years, 20 years, whatever, right? So really just think about, what would I like to see? What would I like to see in my life? Or that we sort of have 5 categories. You can use these if you want. There's nothing magic about them. The first one is health and fitness. The second one is relationships. The third one is, we call it your material world. So of which money is a piece of it, but is not the entire piece of it, right? So you're just your material world around you, right? And then the fourth one we call geography. So what I mean by geography is where you're currently living, what your travel looks like, the places that it is normal for you to travel to, kind of thing. And the last one, we call it occupation, not necessarily your job, right? What do you occupy your time with? What is your creative expression to the world? And maybe it's an 8-to-5 job, but maybe it's something other or as well as that. Okay, so really just kind of structuring that model of what you would like to see, and we can use information from the past, but try not to let the past limit you as much as it often does in designing what you would like to see sort of as the new future. All right. The other thing, and this is not a hard and fast rule, but I guess use some discretion on who you share your resolutions with. So this is what I mean by that, and especially in the beginning, because in the beginning you're just kind of starting the whole journey, right? So you go and you tell your friend, you go, so let's say finances, and you know what, this is going to be my year that I'm going to take care of debt, and I'm going to put some savings in the bank, and all this kind of stuff. So you're sharing with this your friend, and your friend goes, oh yeah, right, like you did last year, right, the last 3 years. And and it's kind of like, oh no, you like the malls way too much to do that, right? You know what I mean, right? Because in the beginning, you can think of it as like planting a little seedling in the ground, right? So in the beginning, it's pretty fragile, right? And if you kind of expose it to the harshness of the environment, it can kind of fall over and die, kind of thing. So in the beginning, maybe the best thing to do is only share them with yourself, right? Or share them only with people that you're really, really confident, I will say, are going to support you in them, right? Okay, so for me in this video, this is your 3 steps. The first one is, try not to think of the journey, but think of the destination, right? What do I want the end result to look like? Okay, that's the first one. The second one is, sort of like cut it off at December 31st of last year. So try not to drag, your disillusions from last year into your resolutions for this year, right? It's a new day. It's a new year. Maybe you've quote unquote failed miserably last year for the last 10 years, but this is a new day. So try not to, to kind of do that, right? And as I said, talk about, well, I don't want to be like this. I want to release the weight. I want to release whatever. What's the end result, right? Without the encumbrance of what worked or didn't work last year. And the third one is, especially in the beginning, nurture them, protect them, if you will, and use, I would say, a lot of discretion on who you share them with, how you share them with, at least in the beginning, until you can get some momentum going behind you. All right. Excellent. That's your action steps. I will see you in video 2. As I said, my name is Russ Littau from Ask the Spirituality Experts. If you want to visit our website, you can just head over to www.healingcenter.ca. Center is spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. This has been a special 2014 mini-series that we call 2014 Resolutions, Disillusions, and Solutions. All right. See you in the next video. Right, Ray, I'm just sharing our understanding of it, and hopefully that will offer some value.
There'd be politically correct inconveniences, right? And, you know...